What's up, guys? John from PumaPlow.com. I messed up my own intro. I was supposed to say John, the voiceover guy here from PumaPlow.com. How's everybody doing? Thanks for clicking on the video. Do appreciate it. So, we were out in the garden in our rye, and we are doing a little bit of overseeding in some of the thin spots. We had, I forget how many inches of rain we had in like January. Yes, I said rain, not snow. And it got to the point where we had some drowned out spots and like some overly wet spots, and it just drowned it out and whatnot. So out here doing a little spot seeding to get it a little thicker, and you know, we don't want bare dirt. The whole reason we grow this is to have like a carpet for our pumpkins. You know, we spray it off with Roundup and then kill it and roll it down, and it's like a carpet. It controls the weeds and conserves moisture and all that stuff, so we don't have to water the pumpkins nearly as much and use as much Roundup to get rid of the weeds and stuff all summer. So you can see we're using the garden weasel. Yes, that's what that thing is called. Just a bunch of spikes, and it kind of puts the rye just down a little bit, and we'll make it come up after a rain or so. You see there's not too much moisture in the ground right now. It's a little dry, but we did get some rain right after this, so all is good. So you can see some of the thin spots from the air. This is right after we went out with the garden weasel and some rye. And where it's not too thin, we're not worried about it, but like out here in a second in the corner is where we were just standing. You can see how thin it is right there, where there basically just isn't any. So that's why we did it. And you know, excuse the drone flying everywhere. It was windy. I know I say that a lot down here, that it was windy, but it has been very, very windy down there lately. So it's been hard to fly the drone and keep it steady, especially when you're close to the ground. It seems like it's even harder to fly. And I'm only a few feet off the ground here, so then we're gonna kind of go out and look at the other corner. Like that was the inside corner, and I would call this like the outside corner here. And you can see it's pretty much non-existent there. It was so wet that basically it just drowned it out. So yeah, and actually a lot of the farmers' fields around here, you know, some of them spray them in the fall with a preventative over the winter, and it was so wet that basically all of that is gone now. So a lot of the farmers' fields have turned very, very green early this spring here, and this is right before the rye really started to green up. And here's another spot down here where it was a little thin. And there's actually a spot right here along this edge that we went out last fall and did some spot seeding in too, and it came on, but then there's another little spot here that had some issues. So we walked down here and, you know, kind of helped it out a little bit. Right there's a spot. So it's just one of those things you have to do before it takes off here in the spring. And yeah, that's basically that. So windy day though. It's always a good windy day down there. So yeah, just gonna fly over to rye. I'm trying to get the shot, but it's just like not happening. And I was actually standing on the other side of the shed, so I'm just flying off of the tablet. I cannot actually see the drone from where I'm flying, which technically I guess is illegal. You're supposed to fly it within line of sight of where you are, but I'm down at the farm and don't think it really matters if I can actually see the drone or not. So alrighty, so now we're back out front at the asparagus patch, and remember we used the side cutter to get rid of the sod. We scooped it up and did some droning and driving last week to get rid of all that. So now we're back out here with the rear tine tiller. We used the front tine tiller to kind of chop it up a little bit, and now Dad's going to use the rear tine tiller. This is the Ariens tiller that we completely rebuilt. It's a different motor, not the original motor. Everything else is pretty much original except for the tires. And we got it, and it was a rust bucket, and we brought it back to life, and I did all the paint work on it. We sandblasted a bunch of it and painted it all up, and pretty cool project. I would kind of wish we would have been doing videos back then, actually. So with asparagus, you actually kind of have to plant it down in a trench. It likes to be pretty deep. So we ran the tiller through just to loosen the dirt up, and then we took flat bottom shovels and we scooped it all out. And then Dad's just going to run through with the tiller again basically just to get rid of where we walked to loosen that dirt up. Now, we don't actually have the asparagus plants yet. We will be doing that soon, so look forward to that in an upcoming On the Farm video. So, cut to a week later or so, and you can see the rye has started to green up and started to grow. So we decided to go ahead and get our fertilizer out there on it. It is time. This will be the first time we are actually fertilizing in the spring on our rye. For those of you that know about fertilizers and stuff, this is urea, I think is how you say it. We had talked about doing ammonium nitrate, but we decided to do urea instead. And you can still see some of the thin spots and stuff haven't really come on as much. But by this point, the rye that we seeded earlier in the video was up. It was past, when rye first comes up, it's actually red, and then it goes to green. So when it's just coming up, it'll be about an inch tall or so, and it's red. It actually looks kind of cool. And then it turns to green. So you can see out here in the corners, it's a little thicker. You can kind of see a little bit of it coming on. And right where Dad's driving there, it's really thick and growing quite well. So yeah, Dad's just going to drive it all through the field here and do some fertilizing. And I don't really think I have anything else to add. So I will be back after this. But keep on watching here, and I'll be back in a minute. So how about that fertilizing right there? So now Dad's actually going to fertilize some bare dirt, and I do believe, and I haven't actually talked to him, and he'll let me know after he watches this video, that we're going to be planting our sweet corn in this patch right here. I would assume that's why he fertilized right here. So you can see he's just going to go fertilize the bare dirt where we're going to be planting. And now for something kind of different. So guys, I came up with this idea and I thought it would be interesting. This was the first attempt at filming a kite with the drone. This was scary because you have kite string and streamers and the drone, getting them close enough to where you can see the kite and everything. I'm going to try to get a bigger kite and do this again. I thought this was kind of interesting. When I have the bigger kite, we'll probably do a 4K video of that, but that's later on. So for now, I'll leave you guys with some awesome cloud top pictures. This was from here in town. I just thought it was really, really cool. So if you guys like this video, please hit the like button for more and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Toodles.